Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tony. I'm here on behalf of LH Crypto today again, and today is actually our last. Well, I'm not going to say last. Let's put it this way: the final meeting in terms of the trading marathon that we followed for a month so far. I'm going to say I'm really excited to be here. It's been, a really big pleasure for myself, as well as for the LH Crypto team. Now, to be fair, it's been absolutely amazing to trade with you guys online, to see how some of you, respond to the recommendations that we give on this channel. It's been an absolute pleasure, and today is basically, our finishing point. Let's put it this way. We're gonna have a look at the results, and also I'm gonna say what's gonna be happening in the very, very near future. So as you guys remember, we started off trading on this current deposit that you can see online. For some of you, who may have some doubts, it's a real one, it's a live one. Again, you guys can go ahead and go back to the very first video where we actually got it registered. We go online to see the personal area, etc., etc. So it's been absolutely amazing. As you guys can see, we started off, for those of you who followed us closely, we started off with just 2 Bitcoins. And as you guys can see right now, we do have quite a bit of a profit. But first of all, to comment, it's been absolutely amazing to see the progress that some of you guys have made. I know a lot of you came from, the crypto world where you guys didn't really have too much analysis. For some of you, for the beginners mostly, you guys just based your forecasts on your own belief in the cryptocurrency, in the instrument itself. I know that for many of you, according to the media, to some of your responses, it's been absolutely amazing to see. It's something that you guys can actually predict, and something you guys can work on. We got a bit into this, trading strategies. We looked at some bits and pieces of risk management and money management. I know for some of you, it's been something new to work with leverage, to work with not only cryptocurrency, but some other instruments as well. So as you guys can remember, we looked at one of the currencies. Every single week we took either euro dollar or pound, or last week we actually, I think it was yen. We can actually have a look at the history. I remember that. So we worked around with yen. Again, we looked at the cryptocurrencies. So we talked a little bit about Bitcoin and Ethereum, the 2 main cryptocurrencies out there. And let me just quickly change that. Obviously, we looked at the classics. We looked at gold. We looked at Apple. So I know that for some of you, it's been a very interesting journey, as well as for myself. And today we're here actually to sum it up a little bit. So first things first, if we do have a look at history, and so I'll actually scroll down all the way to the beginning. You guys can see that we started off, I started off on this deposit, and you guys started on your own deposits. We started off here with just 2 Bitcoins. And I think it's actually worth mentioning that the time when we actually started it, the price of Bitcoin was about $6,300 something dollars, about 6,330, something like that. And right now it's actually about, it's almost 7,000. So on that, solely we made, pretty good profit, to be fair. Okay, so as you guys can see, we actually did make quite a bit of a profit. So if we do look at this figure, we actually made about 36% of profit in just over, just a little bit over a month time, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, let's put it this way, it's, you know, for some of you, you know, for the beginners, not to mislead you in any way, it's something that you might not be able to see every single month, you know, or every single week, you know, in terms of, you know, trading, you know, on a weekly basis. You know, for those of you who followed us closely, you guys probably remember in one of the weeks we made, we actually made about 20% profit, and the other week we made about 14, and then we had some losses, etc., etc. But overall, we actually made about 36% just in terms of, you know, the deposit itself, in terms of the numbers. Now, if we actually translate it back to the US dollar, you know, considering that Bitcoin has risen in price considerably, we actually made about 40 something, like 41%. I actually calculated just before making this video. But regardless of, you know, the Bitcoin price, it's absolutely awesome, and you know, both for the investors and, you know, for the speculators, you guys would understand that, you know, a period of a month time, you know, is something considerable that you can make, you know, you make up your decisions on. You know, if someone offers you to show, you know, some sort of, you know, results, you know, over a week time, you know, you can consider it, you know, sometimes to be a bit of a luck, or, you know, sometimes, you know, to be, you know, not too, let's put it this way, not very professional in that sense. You know, it's the same thing if, you know, if someone shows you just one transaction and says, you know, here's my result, you know, that's how successful I am, just based off, you know, just one transaction. Obviously, you know, it's not something substantial that, you know, you can credibly say, you know, this, you know, particular trading strategy is good or bad. But at the same time, we guys traded together for about a month now, right now. You guys followed us closely. You guys saw, you know, everything that we did online, etc., etc. So it's been absolutely amazing. You know, 36% or, well, 41%. You know, depends how you guys. You know, if you take into the consideration the price of Bitcoin itself, it's a really good result. Okay. Now, for the beginners, you know, who followed us, just to sort of, you know, top it off a little bit, something I keep mentioning every single time: do not be afraid to see those, you know, negatives, because if you guys have a look at our history, we did have, you know, the very first week we actually had one of the losses. You know, we had some other losses throughout, but regardless of, you know, if you guys see losses or not, you will actually get there as long as you, you know, follow this, you know, risk management. And, you know, speaking of, you know, Bitcoin, for example, if we have a look a little bit closer, if you guys do remember, it's something that I kept mentioning every single time, that, you know, cryptocurrency is not, you know, the strongest right now. But, you know, some things like, you know, this level, for example, and, you know, this level. Let me just quickly show it to you guys. Actually, let's put this level a little lower, around this level. So those two areas, you know, they were really strong, you know, support and resistance levels. You know, this one, you know, you can argue with this one, but I would probably keep it just, you know, for the sake of, you know, having a really good channel in that sense. But if you guys remember, every time I kept mentioning that, you know, Bitcoin, you know, amongst, you know, all of the cryptocurrencies, generally speaking, it will be rising in price. You know, this is my personal, you know, it's a very strong belief. It's, you know, also the belief of LH Crypto. That's one of the reasons we're actually doing this whole project all together with you guys. So I kept saying that, you know, crypto, you know, it has to go up. And it will by the end of the year. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will be surprised. Maybe a lot of you guys probably hope for it. But that's again what we saw. You know, if you track our history, if you track all of the, you know, transactions that we did together, you guys would remember that in some of the cases we would actually have, you know, losses, you know, throughout the week, and by the end of the week it would actually go a little bit higher and then, you know, close with a profit. You know, something that unfortunately we're not able to capture this week. Just, you know, I don't really have that much time, you know, considering all of the, you know, all of the other accounts that I trade on, you know, all of the different, you know, preparations for the different business trips, etc., etc. So one of the things I keep using take profits and stop losses, as you guys can remember. Unfortunately, if we left the transaction on Bitcoin that we opened last week, we would actually have quite a big profit right now. But something I keep saying every single time as well, do not regret small take profits. Okay, do not regret I could have made a lot of more money, but unfortunately I only made, say, like $300 in like 1 hour time. It's not bad. So that's exactly what we saw just a couple of hours ago. Actually, Bitcoin broke through this level, which was absolutely amazing for some of you. If we go have a look at what else we had. Actually, with yen, something worth mentioning. We actually do have a negative here, but if you guys do remember, I mentioned that it's most likely to go in our direction. However, I placed a stop loss, just knowing that a lot of you guys are beginners, and for a lot of you guys would be a really good practice to see take profit and stop loss, so you guys are not too nervous throughout the whole transaction, basically. But basically every time I kept going on about gold as well, something I was mentioned through probably throughout the whole period, except for I do remember a couple of times when I was saying we do have an opportunity for a very short-term sell or short position, but overall gold should have gone up, and that's exactly what it did. So if we do have a look at the daily chart, that's exactly what we saw, which was it was pretty big increase in prices. So if we do have a look at the daily, let me just raise it a little bit. That's basically the trading channel that we had for quite a while now. So that's well, actually a little more than a month. So actually has a bit of history by the time we actually started trading with you guys, especially considering that it's only about so it's about half of this whole region. That's where we actually traded, and the other half, the previous part was actually history that we used. Again, something I kept mentioning every single time. It will be going in between these two levels, the support and resistance, until it actually breaks through it. And that's exactly what happened. So if you guys do remember, I spoke about the economic calendar and how to use it. And obviously gold is one of those instruments that, all of the, most of the investors, I'm not going to say all, most of the investors would actually go back to, and they would revise their positions in terms of gold as well. Once we do not have, the stability with the currencies, especially with the US dollar. And that's exactly what happened. If you guys followed the economic calendar last week, if you followed the news last week, dollar was not doing so well, and that's exactly why we saw, this massive movement, and it just kept going and going. Same thing in terms of Apple, if you guys do remember. That's that's our basically trading levels, 1 and 2, and we can probably make another one here, but just I'm gonna remove it real quick. So that's basically what we saw, throughout, our trading process, which was, again, it was quite predictable. If you guys do remember, I mentioned a few times that, Apple is one of those companies that, most of us would just vision it to keep rising in price, and that's exactly what we saw over this last month. So for those of you guys who actually watched our videos and managed to to trade on Apple, I'm pretty sure you guys actually made a pretty good profit on Apple as well. But anyway, so I'm not gonna go too much into the analysis of Eurodollar, etc. Although we do see an uptrend, it's most likely to test this level again. But guys, just to sum it up real quick, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm really happy that quite a few of you actually responded saying, hey guys, we've made quite good profit, we watched your channel, and we just worked together with you guys online, which was absolutely amazing to see that not only that I made the sort of profits on the account, but also you guys were able to actually follow our videos and to make similar profits. Some of you actually made a lot more than I did because you guys obviously traded in this particular account a lot closer than I did. But anyway, it's been absolutely amazing. Now, just to not to say goodbye to any one of you guys, we will be making videos in the future, and we actually have another 2 channels would starting within 2 weeks time. We would actually have permanently we will be having different videos posted there as well. So one of them, which is actually something we're sort of experimenting on, but it's absolutely amazing. I think I already watched a couple of videos that have been pre-recorded. We do have a channel with crypto clowns, and for those of you guys who sort of like to to have a look at something as serious as trading is, but also to have a bit of a laugh. It's going to be an absolute pleasure, I'm pretty sure, guys. So we will have links in the description to the video, so you guys will be able to follow it. Also, just a quick mention, we will have it in 2 languages. So it's both going to be in Russian and it's going to be in English as well. So you guys are welcome to follow it as well. So the Crypto Clown Show is meant to discuss some serious sort of terms about trading and crypto and all this thing, but it's going to be done in a very sort of playful manner. So for any of you guys who likes to have a bit of fun, it's something really good to follow as well. And besides that, we will also have a permanent video channel where we would actually post videos from the LH Crypto Analytics. Again, that's going to be done in 2 languages. So it's something that you guys can actually keep following, because today is actually our, like I mentioned, it's not a really goodbye or a last meeting. It's just the final. Let's put it this way. But overall, we do have these 2 channels. They're going to be starting in about 2 weeks time. Also, guys, feel free to follow us very closely, because we do have quite a few business trips to do different congresses, etc., etc. Those are going to be pretty good. I'm really excited. I'm actually going to be traveling, and I'm going to be one of the speakers for LH Crypto in Singapore. So for any one of you guys, from Singapore, you guys, feel free to come there and watch our presentation. And we're going to be talking about our project, our plans for the future, etc., etc. Anyway, guys, as you can see, I'm probably a little more emotional than usually is. That's because I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really happy for the project. I'm really glad how the whole trading marathon actually went through. It's been an absolutely pleasurable experience, and I'm really happy to see so many of you guys learning something new and trading with us together. Again, thanks a lot to the LH Crypto team who actually supported this training marathon with the amazing bonuses, etc., etc. And follow our channels. Keep going and having a chat on all sorts of social media that we guys follow. And thank you very much for your kind attention. You've been an absolutely amazing crowd. And feel free to follow us, to ask questions, and enjoy your trading, guys, and we'll see you in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.